So you probably have heard several times before, if you plan to fail, if you fail to plan, you've planned to fail, that you have to plan everything out, and etc. However, you can't foresee everything that's gonna happen. With the time you spend on planning and trying to create a plan that is just so concrete and so direct, and it's just like the best planning in the world, you've got to understand that you will run into things that you would have never even thought of until you planned, until you have actually gone through and realized and took the action towards that certain thing. Until you actually go through with everything, with until you just take action, you won't exactly know necessarily what to plan for, and you will not foresee some very basic things but overlook the things that don't need planning for. The time you spend, like I saw this post the other day, that the time you spent on planning could have been the time you spent on action. The truth is, and you probably have also seen that like picture of a guy flying a plane, and it says me when it comes to opening a business, and it's a guy flying a plane, and he's holding a booklet of how to fly a plane, or like plane something for beginners or something like that. Because the truth is, that you have to be kind of like that captain. You can't just sit down and plan absolutely everything. You have to, if you want anything, just have a kind of like rough idea. But if you're spending all your time on planning, you're really taking away from the important thing, which is taking the action, and then just kind of, I guess, planning along. Because so much just kind of unfolds as you take action, and you aren't wasting time, because you're only going to start planning for the things that genuinely needs planning and foreseeing. You kind of have to jump in the hot water and stop expecting, in the cold water, and stop expecting that you will foresee everything, because you won't. You will run into issues that you would have never thought of. And as I just said previously, you will oversee and overlook, well, not oversee and overlook, but you will overplan kind of the things that really do not need that much over planning. And ultimately, if you're putting the plan above the action, you aren't going to really go through with the action in the same way they would have otherwise. This is why I made videos about how dumb people, I don't know if I ended up posting these videos, but this is why I said that if you are dumb, you are in a great situation, because you don't really care, and you don't, not even not okay, not that you don't care, but you don't really think about the consequences of your certain action. For example, the legality of a certain things that you do, like promoting in areas that you maybe shouldn't really be promoting in, but you don't really care, because you don't know that you have to you have like legal things that you have to abide with to promote in that certain area, but you promote there anyway, and nothing happens, but you do gain customers. That's the beauty of being dumb to a certain perspective, to a certain extent. But that's not what this video is about. What this video is about, that you cannot waste time on planning everything, and you kind of have to just jump in and see where it takes you, and figure it out along the way. Take opportunities and stop being scared of taking them. Stop being scared thinking, I'm not going to know how to do this, and just jump in and try. Because what if it ends up breaking out? And if it doesn't, oh well, that's fine too. But it's better than if you didn't do anything. It's so important that you just take chances and you go through and try, instead of like daydreaming and thinking about what you want and what you're capable of, because the burden of and the weight of carrying potential that is unused every single day becomes so incredibly dreadful. And all it takes is a change from you. That's all it requires. That's all it requires. However, it's also that it requires that much you. It requires you. And you just have to go in and not sit there and be scared. You have to go in and do it scared. You've got to do it with the lack of knowledge that you have, because if you're not making any mistakes, you're not making any moves, because you're not making any progress. And yes, maybe it'll be hard to acquire the first clients, the first watchers, the first listeners, whatever you're choosing to do, but open yourself up to it, because you have that need for a reason. You really do have it for a reason, and I really think that people that don't do what they want to with their lives, they're just going to feel so much unfulfillment, and there's going to be so much energy that never got used that will still want to be used, but you just can't bring it out, and you change as a person because you know that you were made for something greater than what you were doing. And the beauty of this is that if you're watching this video, it's not too late to change that, because you are still alive and you can still make that change. So if you're watching this video, please make that change and don't be like me, carrying a burden of potential that is unfulfilled. So stop talking and start doing. Stop failing, stop being embarrassed, start doing all of that so you don't feel like a failure. And it's something I also tell myself, and that is that just because I'm not where I expected myself to be, that doesn't mean that I won't still get to where I am satisfied. But the reason why I have this channel overall is because these videos that I record, they're not just for you, they're also for me, because I struggle with a lot of this stuff and I find myself to be very stagnant. That's only and ever my fault. And if I have motivated at least one person to take action into a certain place, I already feel like I've done something good. And I kind of want this channel to be this place of growth where we grow together, and the things that I deal with and face, I want to help you deal with and face that too, if you have that too. And yeah, so sometimes you just have to stop over planning and just kind of go into the unknown, because you don't know where it will take you, and stop demanding absolute perfection of yourself, because if you're going to keep demanding perfection of yourself, you're always going to be dissatisfied with your work, no matter how much progress you have had. And you have to stop doubting that nothing will ever work out for you, because eventually it will. Work so hard that it's just impossible for things not to work out.